It's Friday. 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 What happened to you, Timmy? Where'd you go? You're frozen. All right. Well, I gotta remove you from the stream, so you know that you're there, and you'll come back in. All right. Let's see if he comes back in. Hey guys. Oh, wait. I gotta get this off of here. I went to the dollar store and I got some new TV glasses. Ta-da! How you like those? They were as close to yellow as I could get. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna tell you. It was as close to yellow as I can get. And I was messing around with the camera earlier, giving my green room folks something to look at, and I guess I should have not done that. Maybe. I don't know. I'm trying to decide what my background's going to be. See if Timmy can get back in here. Let's see. Camera, green screen. I'm thinking palm trees. I like the thought. Let's see if we can clean it up there. Just get it on the verge. I kind of like the palm trees. It's either that or this is Ybor City down in Tampa. Or this is my City Skylines game that I really, really, really like. And I kind of like that too. That's a classy backyard. I like that. I do. But I see a little blur there on the edge. So let's get that. Oh, and then it blurs all up there. Okay. So maybe we'll have to live with that. I'm okay with it. I'm okay. What do you think? You guys like that? I like it. If I go down, I can't go down. But I can't come forward. But we won't do that. So I lost Timmy. You guys, it's Friday night. You're watching Eclectic Ramblings. We sent out some invites to some folks. We're going to see if they join us. I'm thinking Timmy lost the battery in his device or something, because we were doing good there in the green room, and then all of a sudden he just gave up on me. He just left. Oh, there he is. Hey, what's up today?
Yeah, I'm about to fire my internet service provider.
Your internet service provider did that? See, I was blaming you. I figured you ran out of battery power.
That's the third disconnect today.
Really?
And 2 of them were right in the middle of meetings.
Ooh, well, this is a meeting of the minds. Come on, so you had 3
Whoa. You can't say that, because only one of us got a mind, and I know it's not here in Florida.
I will take that. If I have to be the mind, look at my hat, it's all filthy. The dogs threw it on the ground, and I had to chase him for it, but I got it back. So tell me,
which one of them was it?
The one that I don't like, all of them.
The one that I don't like, all of them.
Well, Sir has started to try to talk to me, okay?
Okay.
So I go to take my little nap. It's a rainy day here in Flint, Michigan, so I'm camped out on the front porch. I got a nice comforter. You kick off your shoes, you jump under the comforter, and then 3 dogs lay on top of you, so you got instant warmth, right?
Yeah.
Well, Sir decided that he's going to start whimpering and looking out the little front gate like he needs to get out. And I'm saying, do you have to go to the bathroom? And he comes over and licks me as if to say yes. So I get up, I put my shoes on, I take it. I see Sir's the only one that I have to put on a chain because he's an escape guru. You can see it in him. I mean, whenever he's loose in the yard, he's sniffing at the fence post and he's following it all the way around just to find a fault in it. Okay. So I put him on the chain. I let him out. He runs to the garden and takes a pee. Nice, long, healthy one, right? The other two go to the bathroom. They come in. I unchain him, bring him in the house, go to the porch, and come back, and he has taken a dump on the stairs. So he has just learned to tell me he has to pee. He doesn't know how to tell me he has to take a dump yet. You know, I take him outside, and 10 seconds later, he's taking a dump. So, needless to say, I'm not happy with him. I'm not happy at all. So talk to me about Florida, baby. How things going down there? Did you get any of those ransom emails they said were sent to Florida from the Proud Boys threatening to kill you or beat you up?
Yeah, no, you know what that's all about, right?
No, I'm ignorant, Timmy. Tell me. What? I mean...
You know how easy it is to find out a legitimate of it, how legitimate an email is?
Pretty much, yeah, by the return address, right?
That's what you ever read the headers in an email?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so every email header, if you know how to read them, you know how to find the computer that originated the email.
Okay.
The IP address of the computer. All of those emails originated outside of the country.
Of course they did. They did.
Wednesday. There was a joint statement released by the FBI and a federal agency called CISA, CISA.
Okay.
And they talked about in it that they have strong evidence that China, Russia, and Iran have compromised internet voting support systems. And they were very clear in their wording, voting support systems. So what they were saying was these countries cannot affect the vote tally. But what they have is like access to the voter registrations in states. And that's how these emails from the quote Proud Boys ended up flooding Florida. It's these foreign actors that are trying to influence our election. Now they can't change votes, but they can post fake news to Facebook and Twitter and all that, and they can send emails.
Wow. Well, I mean, yeah, voters' records are public records, aren't they? I mean, you just
not always all of the information. But one of the things that did concern me, I'll say, is that there was also a statement released this week. I don't know how it is up in Michigan, but here in Florida, mail-in ballots, as soon as a mail-in ballot is received by the supervisor of elections office, they immediately start to process it. First, they check the validity of the signature and all that. And once they say it's okay, this is a valid ballot, they run it into a machine to tally the votes on it.
Uh-huh.
So they start collecting these, usually in some kind of a database, all this data, so that they can just merge it with everything that comes in on election night and quickly call the election. The warning that I was reading was that a lot of states use Microsoft's SharePoint product to do this workflow and save these details. And somebody has posted a proof of concept hack of a vulnerability in SharePoint that could potentially give somebody access to a state voter Facebook site, a SharePoint site, where current tallies are stored.
And what could they do with the tallies? I mean,
Well, they can't change the tallies, but
Right.
what they can do is start reporting the tallies before, because by law you cannot report the tallies until after all of the polls close in your state.
Right. So whoever sends them out before the polls close will know it's bullshit.
Right. Well, that's the thing, is they could start releasing it, and then people start questioning the validity because, oh, wait a minute, how's somebody having access to it already? They shouldn't be having access to that data already.
Yeah, I like the way they do it in other countries where there's a blackout 24 hours before the election, and the media can't claim anybody's ahead or anybody's behind or anything like that. And they do it voluntarily. The media does it voluntarily.
Yeah. You know, in this country, it's not about being right. It's about being first.
And I don't even know if that's the case anymore, Timmy.
Yeah, that's the case. It's being right is secondary. Being first with the news is the primary. You know, anonymous source told me. I don't buy anything that reports an anonymous source told me.
You know, I don't, and I'm having a hard time understanding when the definition of debate got changed. Did you do debate in high school at all?
Yeah, I did debate class in high school.
Tell me what you remember from debate class in high school.
Usually, there was a subject, and one side took a pro, and the other side took a con, and you tried to prove your case.
You tried to convince the other person of your point, whichever point it was, right?
But my experience in political debate I have never seen a political debate where one politician tried to convince the other politician. It's been the politicians trying to convince the voter, I'm right and he's an idiot.
But even at a bastardized debate should be based on the moderator's questions. Yeah. They should be answering the questions that the moderator gives. Uh-huh. And that's it. I shouldn't be talking about your cousin's nephew's niece. I shouldn't be talking about your bank account in China unless, of course, you know, that was a question from the moderator.
Yep.
I don't get
it. The thing that I've seen that goes on a lot of times is that the candidate will take a question and twist it to try to get his point across. He wants to get across as an answer to the moderator's question, when what he's trying to get across, the point, has absolutely zero to do with the moderator's question.
Well, I mean, they used to always do that, at least before they were blatant about it. They would ask you what color the sky is, and you would start talking about the food stamp program that you started in North Indiana. You know, it was just blatant like that. Now I kind of appreciate trying to at least, you know, link it together.
Last night, I'm sitting there at 7:55 at my church selling pumpkins.
Mm-hmm.
And the pastor says to me, so are you going to watch the debate tonight? And I said, well, let's see. We got a debate, and we got 2 1-4 teams playing on Thursday night football. I think I'm going to watch Thursday night football. I bet that'll be more entertaining.
Nice. I asked somebody if they were watching debate, and they said no, they weren't. And I said, oh, I forgot Full House was on. I don't think they appreciated it.
I mean, seriously, if you're honest, and I don't care who you are and what side of the aisle you fall on, if you're honest about it, 45% of the voters in this country, the people who are actually going to show up at the polls, about 45% are going to vote straight Democrat ticket, and they ain't voting no different. Another 45% that's showing up is going to vote a straight Republican ticket, and they ain't voting no different. So it's that 10% in the middle is all that the politicians got to fight over, is that 10% in the middle.
And I think Michigan's the 10%. Aren't we one of the swing states?
You are a swing state, But you got the same thing going on like Florida has. You got that dedicated Democrat vote, that dedicated Republican vote,
Yeah.
and it's just a few people in the middle.
Right.
And they keep saying that it's my area. As the I-4 corridor goes, so goes Florida.
Nice.
And the thing of it that cracks me up is that these people are so damn sure. If you're black, you're Democrat. If you're Puerto Rican, you're Democrat. If you're Cuban, you're Republican. That's what they're sure of. I even seen one article where the guy tried to say, because in Florida, when the mail-in ballots come back, they've got a D or an R on it for your party registration.
Right.
So because so many more mail-in ballots have come back with a D, that means that Biden's way ahead. The Democrats are killing it because so many more mail-in ballots have been Democrats that have come back.
Who's posting those numbers? Those numbers shouldn't be posted either.
Well, that's on the outside of the envelope.
Right, but I mean, nobody sees that there are 400 of those, but the Postal Service.
Well, no, the supervisor of elections office, and they're posting stuff. Okay, so but the thing is that you and I both know, just because I'm a registered Republican doesn't mean I'm going to vote a straight Republican ticket, and just because you're a registered Democrat doesn't mean that automatically you're going to vote a straight Democrat ticket. So nobody should be trying to extrapolate that because I'm a Republican, I voted straight Republican, and because you're a Democrat, you voted straight Democrat, and that's exactly how things are going. And so it's like that's what they're doing. That's what our news media is creating the news and then reporting on it.
Timmy, what is that hanging behind your head?
What is that? Oh, the little slips over here.
Yeah.
My daughter's artwork. She did a bunch of my daughter does a bunch of ink print artwork.
Okay.
So she did a bunch of ink print artwork, and it's all hanging up to dry.
Nice. You're gonna have to show me one before the night's over, so I can.
Let me see if I can get enough light around that side of the to take the laptop over.
They're still wet. You can't take one down.
No, I'm not touching her stuff, but can you see it?
Okay.
All right. So these look like Christmas bags, gift bags she's doing.
Are they? Is it silver or white ink?
White ink.
Okay.
Yeah. So she does this. The last time she did a bunch of these was a couple of months ago, and she did a bunch of art, not just the ink printings, but a bunch of art, and she was giving away Pamela Bulu originals to people that would bring receipts showing that they donated to a food pantry or something along the lines of a food pantry.
Nice. How'd it go?
She killed it.
Wow.
She had other artist friends of hers donating stuff and building these packages and everything else. And people were constantly coming up to the door and dropping off artwork or coming to pick up the package they won.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Good for her. So now wait a minute. I thought she lived in Tampa. Is she back with you?
Oh yeah. When she graduated college, she came home.
Oh, the COVID didn't bring her home, right?
No. She's been back here for over a year.
Oh, good for her. Good for her.
Her and I were work in the same. We work for the same IT department. Okay. 2 different teams. We were working in the same building up until March. But I was on 4th floor. She was on 3rd floor. And one day, my boss's boss come up to me and he said, "Okay, we just had a staff meeting about this COVID thing, and we're going to send you home again to work from home until further notice. We don't want you in the office because you're in the high risk category." And I said, "Okay, fine." And then he started to walk away, and he turned around and he said, "Oh, and by the way, we're probably going to be sending your daughter home too, since she lives with you."
She'll be fucking everybody too, right?
Yeah. So her and I now sit about 10 feet apart when we're working, which makes it interesting when we have conference calls at the same time.
That's what full muff headphones are for, Timmy. Full muffers, baby. Full muffers.
Dude, you know me. Ain't nothing quiet about me when I'm talking.
I hear
So the
you.
people in her meeting hear me.
Wonderful. So how was your week, man? How was your week? You living the dream?
Dude, I've been living the dream. I was just telling somebody the other day that, the doctors didn't think I was going to make it out of 2018. And here I am, hopefully going to make it out of 2020. And
is there a pool or anything that I can put some money on?
Not that I know of.
Well, hey, Timmy, you might want to start one.
Yeah, no, I mean, you can check with the bride. She might have something going.
That's right. So they wrote you off in 2018, and here you're going into 2021, huh?
Yeah, they were. Yeah, back. Actually, it was in 2017 that my primary care and my oncologist both said to me, "We just don't think you're going to make it much longer." Mm-hmm. But I mean, I was having so many issues back then. I was down to 112 pounds.
Right. So what are you crediting it to?
First, I credit to a lot of prayer.
Okay.
Because every time I turn around, somebody say, "I'm praying for you, brother."
Nice. It's always good to have that in your quiver.
But when I met the new pastor that he's been with us for about a year now. But when I first met him and we were talking, and I was bringing him up to speed with where I'm at, he looked at me and said, "Well, it's a good thing you're still here then." I said, "Well, some days I wake up and I look in the mirror and I think, God, is it that you have a plan, something I still need to accomplish, or you're not ready to have me in heaven yet?"
I'm thinking the other one. I'm thinking the second one, Timmy. It's too peaceful up there.
My previous pastor, I told her one day, I said, my big fear is I'm gonna get to the pearly gates. St. Peter's gonna look at his list, and he's gonna say, "You're in the wrong place," and he's gonna point over this way. And I'm gonna see an escalator going down, and AC/DC is gonna be playing Highway to Hell.
Oh, listen, they're still recovering from your dad making it to heaven, man. I don't think they can have both of you in there at the same time.
So we'll see. I'm hoping I just got at work. I just got assigned to a 6-quarter project. Do you know what a 6-quarter project is?
6 quarters. That's 2 years, right?
A year and a half.
Yeah.
I just got assigned to a 6-quarter project.
Well, you can't die now. You got shit to do.
When my boss told me I was going on special projects, I got a little nervous at first because where I work in the state university system, you have 3 different designations you can get hired under. They call them professionals. And that's like your electricians, your plumbers, your carpenters. Then you have administrative, which I am, and that's usually your IT people and some of your senior administrators. And then you have faculty,
which are the teachers.
So with the faculty union protecting faculty, it's very difficult to get rid of a faculty person.
Okay.
With the professional union that protects the professional people, it's almost impossible to fire a professional union person. What you have to do if you want to get rid of them is you have to actually get rid of their job, period. Okay. You can't fire the individual. You have to eliminate the job.
Okay.
For professional, administrative, where I am, it's a year-to-year contract. And at the end of the year, they don't need an excuse to fire you. They just tell you, we're not renewing your contract.
Okay.
All right. So because of the length of time that I've been here, when I got hired, there was a requirement of a 6-month notification to a administrative person if you were not going to renew their contract. So that meant that, okay, my contract renews automatically on July 1st, unless I was notified by January 1st that they weren't going to renew my contract.
Okay.
In my line of work, being a security person, I have access to a lot of sensitive systems. So I've always known that when the day comes that they're going to not renew me, the decision's made, I'm going to be sent on a home on what they call special projects, which means basically you're not going to be renewed on July 1st. You got the next 6 months to find a new job, and don't even bother coming to the office because there'll be nothing for you to do. Let us know when you have a new job. So,
but they're paying you while you're looking for that.
Yeah, no, yeah, they have to. So basically, I always celebrated past January 1st, because that meant that I had another 18 months of employment going on.
Or another 6 months of free time, right?
Yeah, no, because if they didn't tell me by January 1st, that meant that they couldn't terminate me for 18 more months.
Okay.
Okay. So when my boss came up to me earlier this week and said to me, yeah, I got to put you on a special project, I'm like, oh, crap, I'll clean up my desk.
Well, come on, dude, it's October.
He says, no, not that kind of special project. Not that kind of special project.
I'm eliminating your job, and we're giving you a special project, right?
Yeah. Well, they don't even have to eliminate my job. As an administrative person, all they have to do is tell me, we're not renewing your contract. We've decided to go in a different direction, is the politically correct line.
Okay.
We've decided to go in a different direction, so your contract will not be renewed on July 1st.
Nice.
I've seen it happen more than once where they've said that to somebody, and within 3 weeks, the person replacing them was already hired and in the job.
Right. Yeah, because you've been there 20 years, haven't you?
20 years. It's almost 20 and a half years, but for retirement purposes, it'll be 20 years in January.
And how many years you need to retire?
I did not get grandfathered in. It used to be 20 years was full retirement, but they changed that, and I did not get grandfathered in. So the way it is for me is every year that I decide to work, I get points added on towards my retirement pension. So I can retire anytime I want right now, and I have a pension. It's just the longer I work, the bigger the pension's going to be.
Wow.
Because the way they figure out my pension.
Does your wife get the pension after you pass?
Yeah, she's going to get it.
Oh, good. Okay, so you might as well bank it up then.
Yeah. So the way they figure it out is they say they take your 5 highest years of salary, and average that into one number. Then they multiply it by the number of years you have towards retirement, and that becomes your pension.
See, I didn't know people got pensions anymore.
Yeah, the state still has it. And stupid me, when I first started back in 2000, I was given a choice. You can get into the true pension plan, or you can go in the optional retirement plan where you invest your money and whatnot. And I was in that plan until 2008, about September of 2008. Remember what happened in 2008, right?
Oh yeah, everything hit the. Ooh.
I tell you what, you talk about having somebody watching over you. I got a letter from the Florida Retirement System, which is the state pension plan, that said, well, we know you chose the optional retirement plan, but we're going to give you a second chance to rethink that. And if you want to buy into the pension plan, let's talk. So I called up the FRS, Florida Retirement System, and made an appointment to talk to somebody. And then the woman that I'd been working with through the optional retirement plan calls me up, and she says, so I hear you got that offer letter. What's your thoughts? And I said, well, I'm thinking about it. She said, okay, then this is what we're going to do. My advice, let's take everything that you have invested right now and sell it and take all that money and put it in a money market fund so it's protected. I think it was a month and a half before the bottom dropped on the market when she completed that transaction.
Wow. Good for you.
So I didn't lose. I got lucky. I didn't lose a dime. Cost me $42,000 to buy into the Florida retirement system at that point, but I had it. So I, invested in the optional retirement. So I bought in.
Nice. So they kind of saved you, huh?
Yeah, that saved me. So now is what they're telling me. First, I was going to retire at age 60. So I told them I'm going to retire at age 60. Do the compute. Tell me what your expectation is for my pension, and we'll go from there. So they came back with the figures, but they added one figure on I didn't ask. They said, okay, so if you work up until age 60, here's what you're going to get for a monthly pension. However, give us 2 more years, and here's what you're going to get. And that here's what you're going to get if I work 2 more years was almost $800 a month.
Difference.
In addition. So I said, you know what? For $800 more a month,
60. Yeah, that's a boat and a dinner.
now I tell people I was planning a great retirement. Heidi's going to enjoy herself.
Yes, she is. This son of a bitch. Ooh.
But I have to tell her, I have to keep reminding her, the one thing she can't do is remarry.
Oh, no. You're not going to tell her that, are you?
No, I had to tell her already. And I told her, I said, listen, I don't care how in love you are, shack up. Don't remarry. Because the second you remarry, you lose both pensions because she's not getting one pension. She's getting 2 pensions.
Right.
But the 2 pensions and the health insurance go away the second she remarries.
Well, she's got to remarry Rockefeller or something like that.
No, like I told her, don't remarry. Shack up. Shack up.
Yeah. That makes sense. Why would you give up that kind of money for love?
Well, you can have all that love. Why do you need the marriage?
Right. You can have all the love and all the money without the piece of brilliant, Timothy. Goodness. So, I mean, are you planning any kind of trips? I know you guys did.
I just got back from Massachusetts, as you know, a couple of weeks ago.
How was that?
I woke up on Friday morning and it was below 32 degrees.
Celsius?
No, Fahrenheit. Below 32 degrees Celsius. It's 32 degrees Celsius in Florida when I left.
So, needless to say, you didn't have your winter coat and your wool socks, I take it?
I didn't have my wool socks and I didn't have my flannel jammies. But I did have my winter coat, my Florida winter coat.
Well, Paul's down in Nashville now, and the first question he asked me was, why did I bring all these long sleeve shirts?
I almost had my mother on the show tonight.
Oh, no.
She was out on her back deck until about 8 o'clock tonight, enjoying cocktails because it was a warm evening.
Well, we can always jack in early for your mother. You know that, right? I'm willing to start at 4 o'clock if your mom's gonna be on.
I don't know if she's gonna start happy hour at 4 o'clock. We don't know what we're gonna get.
I know what we're gonna get.
My sisters and I joke, when we realize that she's already at happy hour, we have a separate Facebook group. Don't tell my mother. And whichever one of us is conversating with her, we'll throw into that other Facebook group. Hey, it's happy hour and Shack Chic again.
I ain't mad at your mama.
I ain't mad at her.
Happy hour can start at 2. Actually, at 8 a.m. if she wanted to.
She's 82 this year.
82.
Yeah, she's 82 this year. And if she want to go have a smoke and a drink, more power to her.
More power to her. More power to her.
The funny part, though, is I don't know if I told you about the taking her and her sisters and my uncle out for lunch on Saturday while I was up there.
No, what happened?
Brother, funny. So my mother asked me if I would drive. I said, sure, I'll be the chauffeur. So
the designated driver or just the driver?
The driver. I get my three aunts and we go over to pick up my uncle, right? And I rented a Caddy, XTS.
Okay.
So we get to my uncle's house, and while I'm inside getting him out the door, the three sisters pile in the back seat. My mother and her two sisters, right?
Okay.
So I get out there, and my aunt, my godmother, the oldest of the three, she goes to shut the door in the back seat, and I grabbed it, pulled it open, and I looked at her and looked at the other two, and I said, now, before we get going anywhere, I'm going to tell you right now, don't make me stop this car. I don't want to hear, she's touching me.
Now, wait a minute. I know, is that one of the Pinas? Isn't that one of the Pinas?
I don't know if Nancy Pina was there, David's mother and Randy's mother.
Okay.
But she's the youngest of the three sisters.
Right.
My Aunt Mary that lived in Duxbury. I'm not sure if you ever met her or not.
You met her, no.
Okay, she's the oldest. So my Uncle Ernie turned 85. My Aunt Mary is either 86 or 87. My mother's 82, and my Aunt Nancy's somewhere in her 70s.
So you were the young whippersnapper there, weren't you?
Oh, yeah. So when we walked in, as they were seating us, I stopped and I said to the hostess, you're going to see a major argument if I let these three women pay the bill. So what I'm telling you is tell the waitress one check, and it doesn't go to any of those three ladies. It comes to me. And she said, okay. So as they were finishing up the meal and everything, I had to take a little walk anyways. I went and found the waitress, and I handed her my credit card. And I said, here, when you get the bill computed, just run it. If they want anything else, give them whatever they want. And we'll settle up.
Okay.
So she comes to bring me the receipt to sign. And, of course, right away, the three mothers, what are you doing? That's our bill. We're supposed to be paying. I looked at the three of them and I said, knock it off. You treated me to this. You treated me to that. You treated me to that. Now it's my turn. I don't want to hear any more.
Nice. It feels good to be good. Timmy, it feels good to be good.
Payback.
Right. I ain't mad at you. You got to spend it, especially on people you love.
That's all I keep thinking is, how much sacrificing did they do and budget playing and everything to make sure that we come up well.
Well, you remember what you had to do in your 20s and 30s, right?
I said to my mother more than once after I got married and had my kids, I don't know how you did it. I just, as a single mother of 4 kids, I don't know how she did it. And that's what I said to her constantly. I don't know how. She said, well, it was a bunch of putting the bill. Okay, this one's in final notice. That's the one I'll pay.
All right, exactly. When the red envelope comes, then that's what you deal with, man.
I was like, I couldn't imagine. I would be so wound up tight. And then I started thinking about it, and I was like, is that why you always had that look on your face?
Yeah, she didn't have to fart.
That woman could talk, and when she grit her teeth, she started talking quieter. And we heard her clearer and louder the quieter she talked between gritted teeth. Because you knew you'd worked that last nerve.
Yes, indeed. So
that was a guarantee you would work that last nerve.
Well, Bill's down Tennessee way, and he's supposed to get out of the rehabilitation center. He's been in for the last 2.5 months. They were going to release him, but he's still not able to walk. He's been in the bed so long that his legs have atrophied.
Oh, man.
So they were going to send him home, and Paul Jr. has volunteered to go down there and stay with him and get him on his feet, literally get him on his feet. But in order for him to qualify for additional stay, they wanted him to sign over his house.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so that, if anything went awry, they would take the house and sell it and blah, blah, blah. And he refused to do that. I was so proud of him. I said, no, we'll come up with another way other than selling your house. Because he made a brilliant purchase. Bought the house back in the day for pennies, and now it's worth triple digits.
Yeah. I watched my uncle have to go put a mortgage on his house that he had paid off free and clear. Put a mortgage on that house in order to keep them from taking it while he was in rehab.
Wow.
I said, you know what? That ain't right. That it just ain't right.
It ain't. You shouldn't have to go ahead and just think about the generational wealth that has been stolen.
Mm-hmm.
From folks. You can't get Granny's house because Medicaid has it. You can't get Aunt Mary's house because Medicaid has it.
Yep.
Just horrible. So they called me Monday and told me they were kicking him out, that his services would end on Friday. And they had a medical bed coming to his house on Thursday. So Paul Jr. and I planned on driving down on Wednesday to get there on Thursday to handle all that stuff. And then come Tuesday, I got like 3 big orders. I got 3 jobs that just had to be done. Now, logistically, I could do them in the car on the passenger side riding down the highway, but that is not the most creative space to be in. So they called me Monday, and then the guy told me that here's a number if you'd like to appeal his
decision,
his discharge. Right. If you'd like to appeal his discharge, you can call this number. So I called Sizwe and talked to him, and he said, yeah, I was talking to the nurse here. She said she's done hundreds of them, and only 5 of them have been approved. So we're like, okay. Chances are it's not going to go. So Paul rented a car, took off Wednesday morning to get to Nashville. Thursday, my phone rings. We won the appeal. I don't even remember what I said, but it was good, apparently.
Did you have Sharima write the grant?
I don't remember Jesus. I don't remember using Jesus or God or anything in it, but I think it must have been a good because I did it over the voicemail, so I was a little jovial and concerned and everything all in the voicemail. So if nothing else, she was entertained by my appeal.
So you didn't have Sharima write the grant.
I should have. So before Paul makes it the 10 hours to Nashville, I got to call him and tell him, come on back. Come on back. Not really. He still had to go down and deal with the house. You know what I mean? Get the bed in the house. So that's all taken care of. So now we don't know, excuse me, how long they're going to let him stay, whether it's going to be a day-to-day or a week-to-week or, report to report. But anything that's not this weekend, we're hoping we can keep him in there till after the election. And if we can do that, that'll be a good day. That'll be a good day. And I know he wants to get out of there. I can't imagine being flat on my back for 2 months. How long were you in the hospital?
The first time for the surgery, 10 days. He wanted to keep me there, and I looked at him and I said, dude, I can't take another night in this torture device. You got to let me go home and sleep in my own bed. But by that time, my back was so messed up for almost 2 weeks, I couldn't even sleep in my own bed.
So do you have a hospital bed at the house?
No, I actually had a reclining chair at my house, and I slept in the reclining chair.
Nice. Yeah, you make do. You make do, baby. I ain't mad at you. I see the new recliners are couches.
The nurse friend of mine got me this stuff. It was like in like the old band roll-on deodorant thing.
Yeah.
It was like that, but you roll it around your back, and it basically just numbed all the muscles in the back.
So was it back surgery you had?
No, but have you ever spent a lot of time in a Stryker hospital bed?
Never.
The newer ones, the brand newer ones, are nice because they now have air chambers in them that are constantly filling up and letting out the air, so the bed is in constant motion, and it's so much nicer on the back. But the old-fashioned ones, the older ones there that don't have those air chambers in, if you're not getting up and getting out of them for most of the day and walking around, your back is junk.
Oh, wow. Well, see, yeah, we just had one delivered, like I said, to my brother's house, and I don't know if it's a Stryker or not, but he's going to be in it for the most part of the day for sure, other than physical therapy.
Yeah, well, the physical therapy should be getting them up and out and walking around and moving. The problem I had, and it was actually it got so bad that the charge nurse came in on Monday. I had my surgery on a Wednesday, and basically laid in that bed almost from Thursday through till the following Monday morning. And the charge nurse came in and brought in the floor nurse and the nurse's aide and said, all right, we're going to have a meeting right now. I'm not satisfied at all with the fact that this young man has not been gotten up out of this bed and walked. So I'm calling all three of you out on this. You need to stay on top of the nurses to make sure they're getting you up and walking. Nurses, you need to stay on top of your nurses' aides to make sure they're getting him up and walking. And nurses' aides, you better be finding the time to get this man up and walking. I found out they were supposed to have me up and walking the day after the surgery.
Right. You atrophied too.
I ended up with pneumonia.
From infection in the back?
No, from just laying there in the bed. That's why they want you up and walking the day after the surgery, because otherwise pneumonia sets in.
And they know that. They do this for a living.
Yep. It was that experience at that hospital was not good. And I was second guessing the whole system after that. And then when I came home and I started living with the results of that surgery, the saying that sometimes the cure is worse than the sickness. Right.
So you went in for what? Back surgery?
No, that was for the when I had the it's called the Whipple procedure, and they basically cut the common bile duct up around the liver, remove the gallbladder, the common bile duct, part of the pancreas, and part of the stomach.
Okay.
It's actually right outside of the stomach, called the duodenum, at the top of the intestines.
Right.
They remove all that, and then they resect everything together. Brand new plumb job.
Brand new plumb, and that's to get rid of the cancerous or those.
That's it, supposedly get rid of the cancer. But what they found out when they cut me open was that they couldn't cut all the cancer out
because it was too close to the liver, right?
No, in order to cut all of the cancer out of my pancreas, they would have had to go ahead and take the body of my pancreas as well as the head, because the cancer had spread into the body of the pancreas. So they say, they call it margins. Okay, if they have to leave some cancer behind, they say, okay, it's so much percentage margin. So they say they left a 1% margin in my pancreas. But the bigger problem was the vein that feeds the liver is called portal vein.
Okay.
The cancer had started to invade the portal vein as well. So he had to basically dig the cancer out and, into a U like that. And he dug as much as he could out of the portal vein. But he said if he took any more, he was worried that either the vein was going to completely collapse or it was going to clot shut. And there was my liver would be gone.
But why can't they do the tubes that they put into the veins, like your varicose veins? And
yeah, he never fully explained why he couldn't have cut a vein from somewhere else and just did a replacement. I was under for 10.5 hours.
Wow.
That's how long the surgery took.
And how much did that surgery cost, Timmy?
Cost me or cost my insurance company?
Well, I want to know both numbers.
I'd have to go doing some digging to find out how much, but I want to say it was a couple of $100,000 to the insurance company. For me, it was about $500 for my copayment.
Nice.
You know,
and did they offer this surgery, or did you?
Well, no. When I got diagnosed, it was an MRI that picked up the tumor, and the GI doctor that was taking care of me in the hospital come up to my room, and he says, "All right, we got to talk." He says, "MRI didn't find a gallstone. They thought I had a gallstone plug in the common bile duct." He says, "It's cancer. There's a tumor. It's about 6 millimeters long. It's got the bile duct completely closed. So we're going to do this emergency procedure tomorrow, where we're going to jam a stent through it just to get your common bile duct draining again. But you're going to have surgery, and the sooner the better, because this is an aggressive cancer, and there's no telling how much it'll continue to go." The surgery was only a month later, and they found the tumor went from the duodenum all the way up to my liver.
Well, how come they didn't see that before? If they could see it in the, I'm confused. If they could see enough of it to put the stent in.
Yeah, that's that showed up in the MRI. That was a solid block.
Okay.
The rest of it was like strands, kind of like how a jellyfish has all those strands that go off.
The tentacles, yeah.
Yeah, that's basically what the rest of the tumor was. It was strands coming off of the main tumor that was down in the duodenum.
And I guess it's not the roots, because the duodenum thing was the core of it, and they were tentacles off of that, right?
Yeah.
Nice. $200,000. Well, woo.
Yeah. Oh, my son Michael, the one that you've met.
Yeah.
When he had suffered that internal decapitation in that accident in Ohio.
Wait a minute. Slow down. There's actually a word called internal decapitation.
Decapitation, yep. And what it is, and this is what killed Dale Earnhardt. Okay, so your skull is attached to the top of your spine. There's a piece of cartilage there.
Right.
And if you suffer severe whiplash, that cartilage can rip and the skull becomes detached. And that's why they call it an internal decapitation, because there's absolutely no breakage of the skin, but the skull is detached from the spine.
And the spinal cord nerves and everything, right?
Yeah,
the only thing still holding on.
If you notice, after Dale Earnhardt died in that wreck in the car race, they put the thing up like this on the sides of the drivers now. It's to keep the head from going too far to the side, because what happens is the people that suffer the internal decapitation, the head flops over to the side and crushes all the blood vessels and everything that are going up through the spine into the brain.
Okay.
The only reason Michael survived was because the car flipped over and he was hanging upside down, so his neck and his spine stayed in perfect alignment.
Wow.
That was the only thing that saved him. And the paramedic that got him out of that car brought him out and then collared him. And I said to that guy, because I got to talk to the guy about a year later, he called me up to see how Michael was doing. And I said to him, I can't believe you were able to get him out of that vehicle and keep everything in perfect alignment to get him collared on the backboard before you loaded him onto the air ambulance.
Right. Man, it would seem like the protocol would be to collar him upside down and pull him out.
we came real close because I got a phone call. Luckily, this guy decided to call me from the accident scene. And he says to me, well, your wife and daughter have already gotten out of the car. And I'm trying to get your youngest son out of the car, but the door is so badly damaged, I can't get it to open. And I said to the guy, sir, I appreciate you trying to help my son. I can hear him screaming in the background, but I'm going to tell you right now, I want you to stop. I don't want you to try to do anything more to help him. Do not release him from that seatbelt. Let the EMTs get there and deal with it. Okay? He's like, but he's yelling at me. He's calling me names. I said, I don't care. He's breathing. He's talking. He's good. Leave him alone.
Right.
Turned out if that guy had broken that seatbelt loose, that would have been the end of him.
Yeah, he would have dead. Wow. Wow. What drama.
That kid's a survivor. That kid is a survivor.
Look at this guy. This one's Bob. Look at it. Look at it.
Yeah. Which one's that one? Is that Sir?
This is Newton.
Oh, that's Newton.
That's Newton. He's just following Isaac. Isaac's been over here pecking at me, trying to get me to let him out or do something. I don't know what he wants.
So what I was going to tell you when you were telling me about Sir and or the one in the steps and everything is our oldest cat over here seems to be going into dementia. So lately she'll lay down and take a nap and wake up and look around like she's completely confused, and she starts howling like she's calling somebody.
Oh no, Tim! Your cat's going crazy. Yeah,
I think dementia's setting in. I think she's 16.
Yeah. I'm seeing Isaac's eyes are a lot more cloudy than they used to be.
Yeah,
I'm perfectly. I mean, I'm not seeing any signs of going blind. I mean, other than the clouds in the eyes, the way he moves around here. I don't know.
The other two cats that we have, we got two that are at 14 years old, and I believe the both of them, they're starting to develop the cataracts, and so they're seeing shadows. But that's all they're seeing is shadows. And my wife's favorite one is an all black male named Cola, and I'll open the front door for him, and as old as he gets, that boy still wants to go out at night and go catting around all night. And then he comes slinking in at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, looking like he needs a good nap.
At 14.
At 14, yeah.
No, they don't do the same dog thing, right? They don't get 7 years.
Yeah, something like that. So I'll open up the door though, and he'll see one of the other cats moving behind me in the living room, and he won't come in because he's not sure what it is that's behind me moving.
It's just a big shadow.
And Heidi said lately that when she goes out in the morning to go to work, he sees her and he runs away from her like he doesn't recognize her.
She's even bigger shadow.
And then the other one there, the 14-year-old female, I'll put food down on the floor, and then I've got to guide her over to it and put her nose down to it before she can find it.
No way, not food. So she's lost her sense of smell too?
No, she's got the sense of smell, but I got to she doesn't realize I put food down until I put her nose there for her to smell it. And then it's like, oh, there's food in the bowl.
So no hearing and no smelling.
Well, she's got hearing. Oh, the hearing's there. Trust me. She can hear if you drop catnip on the floor.
Wow. So we're going to meet again before the election. So go ahead and give your pitch to let people know what you want to do. We can close this out.
Tomorrow morning, my daughter and I are heading down to an early voting site so we can go ahead and get our ballots cast to make sure that we're getting counted. If you're going to go to an early voting site and vote, do it. If you're going to mail it in, make sure you follow up. It was in the news today, somewhere around 15,000 mail-in ballots in Florida have already been disqualified.
Yeah. People are going to make mistakes. They're not going to sign. They're not going to do what they're supposed to do. They're not used to it yet.
Like did you hear the one? Was it last week? Week before last, down in Sarasota, the guy figured because his wife just passed away in October, it'd be okay for him to sign for her mail-in ballot and send it in.
Uh-oh. That's a no-no. So is he getting time or what?
I don't think they're going to give him time, but they did give him a slap on the wrist and put his face in the paper.
Nice. Well, hey, in the 8 seconds I have left, I want to encourage you guys to do what we do. Give us a call, 810-239-2901. Get your TV on. Get your podcast on. Get your Channel 17 on. You remember, what is it? What does I always say, Timmy? Enjoy the life you're living.
And just until you can live the life you'll enjoy.
I like the way you pay attention.